Hey everyone, so I'm here just a little bit to talk about my Courant Koala. I love seeing everyone else's different setups. I just posted a video about all my gear, so I wanted to follow up on that and post a video of my saddle. So this is my setup. This is how I run it. Like I said, this is a Courant Koala. This is the V2, so it has the different rings and it has, I think, some different padding, and then the back might be different as well than the original, but we'll just kind of start at the middle. So I've got sewn bridges on this. This is the shorter length. I like the short length for climbing SRT, and honestly I haven't had any issues with it being the short length when I'm climbing on double rope. I keep breast cancer awareness ring on the middle. This is what I use mainly when I'm climbing SRT. And then if I'm going to climb double rope, I have this DMM Nexus swivel. I like swivel when I'm climbing double rope. It eliminates a lot of twist, eliminates some possible friction. But most of the time I'll just climb off the ring, and that works pretty well for me, so I'll just leave this out of the way. But I definitely like having the swivel on there. I keep stuff like retrieval balls. This is my Death Star. Love that thing. Shout out to Indoors Tree Gear for that. I, of course, painted it because I'm a nerd. And then a quickie. I like stuff like this that's kind of finicky. I typically climb with gloves, especially in the wintertime. So I like having stuff with like these little slick pins or anything up front, just so I know I'm not going to drop them. And they store really nicely right there. I never have any issues. And then over on this side, of course, I've got my lanyard. So this is pretty new to me, the Positioner 2. I have to say I am a huge fan of this. I've been climbing on a hitch cord for a long time. That was my first lanyard, and it's what I've run the whole time. But I've got to be honest, I like this better. I like this better for a lot of reasons. I've climbed in some sappy trees recently, and even still, it hasn't really gummed up. I'm real big on organization and keeping things nice and tidy. So if I can put a captive bar in a carabiner, I'm going to. So I got the Captive Eye Perfecto, and then I've been running the ease hook, which is just a double action. But you know, I like the weight of this. I started out on steel snaps, and I've run carabiners. I had the ball lock, the Petzl ball lock, but honestly I just kept blowing them up. I had two of them fail on me and get gummed up. And you know, that third action some people might miss, but I don't mind it. I just really try to stay focused and pay attention to it. And then of course I've got the Nessie. I love this thing. I have had the Tuffelberger Keeper, I've daisy chained my lanyard, and then I've had this basically since it came out. This is the easiest, this is the most elegant, it's the most simple. I'm serious, I will probably never go back to anything else. I considered buying the rope pod. I found one online, but now that I have this, I don't even care. And then on the bottom of my Nessie, I've got another little swivel just to eliminate twist. This is Tuffelberger Fly, and it likes to twist just a little bit, so I added that swivel there just to eliminate that. And of course, it's awesome. On the other side over here, we're just gonna do the immediate front, and then I'm gonna go over the back and stuff. This is a brand new handsaw for me. It's a Silky Tsurugi. I'm on a pruning crew right now, and I love this thing. The thin taper of it, the aluminum scabbard, and then this is actually the shorter ones. This is like a 10-inch blade, 10.5-inch blade. It's perfect for me. Anything bigger than that, I'm gonna get a chainsaw for sure. And then with my chainsaw, this is the new Notch quick cinch lanyard, I think, and it had 2 steel rings. I cut those off. I didn't want them. I wanted to eliminate metal. when possible. So I just got a girth hitch down there, and then of course the swinger. That is it's so easy on, easy off, and I like a big DMM carabiner because it just makes it easier. I am a big fan. I gotta be honest, the quality on the swinger, not fantastic. The paint is already coming off. I would like to see some better finishing from Notch, I gotta be honest. But the action itself, flawless. I think that's absolutely outstanding. Nick Bonner and that other guy, I don't remember his name, did a phenomenal job with this. I think it's the best solution for a lanyard, in my opinion. I've tried out a few. I had the DMM Mega Vault, I had the locking vault, the wire gate vault, I've had a Petzl Cara tool. I definitely like this the best. And then on the front, I have fashioned a DIY tendon. So this is actually Courant hitch cord, and then there's actually a plastic tube on the inside. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but there's a plastic tube on the inside that runs this bungee, and that attaches to my knee ascender. Some people are probably going to be really mad at me for this, but I bastardized my Saka and turned it into this super lightweight one. Honestly, it functions the same. The Saka speaks for itself. Everyone knows how well this thing works. Richard Mumford and Climbing Innovations, they know what they're doing. And then obviously whenever I'm ready to go, I just unclip it from my leg, clip it right onto my boot, and I'm ready to go. And then most of the time, this isn't here. I put this on this swivel just to keep it out of my way. Keeps it from floating and smacking around. So I'll undo this and clip it onto this little piece of cordage for my knee ascender. And then of course the Courant Koala has these Cobra buckles by Austriopin. And you know, I had a Monkey Beaver that had the ISE buckles. I hated them. They gummed up all the time, and if I'm being honest, I didn't like that they would depress. I actually did have my leg buckle open once or twice when I was climbing on that. So the fact that you have to depress these and pull them together in order to take them apart, I really, really like that. These just feel better made in my opinion as well. All right, I'm gonna turn around this saddle real quick. All right, so on the back of my saddle, the one negative that I have to say about the Koala is these little gear loops. These little gear loops. I don't know why they wouldn't make them just a little bit wider. I do like that they're a little firm. They're not extremely supple. Because me personally, I don't love these down here. I never use these. Maybe if I had like Speedlun slings or something, I'd hook them on there. But I want to keep everything up high. I don't want a bunch of stuff like hanging down by my legs or anything. I like everything up high. With that being said, this back pad is the perfect amount of support for me. It's not too tall. It's not too thin. I love the way that it's scalloped. It fits. It is so comfortable for me. I maybe tend to wear my saddle just a little high, and it hugs my back and my hips really well. It just fits great. You know, I've had like, anytime you have a big heavy saw, it'll pull down on you. But with this harness, it really has it. And I don't even have suspenders. I had a Monkey Beaver that had suspenders, and it still bothered me anytime I had a big saw on my hip, but this has not. So really fantastic job, Courant. So obviously it's got the bungee suspension. And then this is my knee ascender. I just stow it back here. And then I also keep a little breakaway carabiner. You can use this for all kinds of things. DMM retrieval cone will fit in there. It's a great thing to have. You should always have an accessory on you, in my opinion. And then right here, I actually have a little throw weight and little accessory. There's those captive pins again. What I've done, this is actually just a little steel clip, and I always climb with this. If I don't have anything else on my harness, I have this. And I use that for advancing when double rope, sending down a rigging line. Let's say I want to set a remote crotch with that and whip it down. You can use it for rope weight if you're rope walking. Yeah, I always climb with this. And honestly, I've even put this on the end of my lanyard and used it to whip out dead wood before. So I've heard people say they don't like climbing with it, but it's too convenient. And I like that I can lock it, unlock it. Again, that phenomenal DMM manufacturing. That's great. And then I've got a Monkey Beaver phone pouch. This thing is great. I do love this. It sits perfectly on these two other little gear loops that the Koala has. So I've just got it zip tied here on my makeshift tendon that runs all the way around my harness. And then I've got it zip tied at the bottom as well. Obviously, I like making stuff myself. You know, sometimes you buy stuff for a certain solution, but oftentimes you can make stuff with your knowledge of knots and maybe just a little bit of super glue and some electrical tape. And then over here, I've got this is the transporter, but this is the XL transporter. And there are a few reasons that I went with this one in this size. So I've had the DMM vault. I've had the Mega Vault over here for my chainsaw, and then I've had the locking vault and the wire gate vault, and I've even had the regular transporter. And I like switching things up, so I've sold them or give them away. I've even had a few Cara tools that have just broken even. But I wanted this here because I wanted a big loop that I could put rigging gear on or anything. You know, you can fit a lot of stuff right there. That's really a big gear holder. But I wanted it to lock, and the Mega Vault doesn't lock, and it's so big that it catches stuff all the time. I like that you can open it, but I want it to lock. I don't want branches going in there, and that's why I like the swinger as well. You don't have a bunch of branches getting caught in there. So that's why I chose this right here, and it fits super well on this Koala. So that is basically how I have my harness set up pretty much always. So now I'm going to go over kind of what I carry on my saddle. This may be a lot for some people. This may be a lot less than some other people carry, but this is what I carry. And honestly, I think this would do just about anything that I need to do. So like I said, always gonna have my throw weight, gonna leave my chainsaw lanyard on, gonna have my quickie, my handsaw, everything else that was on my harness, and then I'm gonna add a rope sling. This is something that I'm working on, more to come on that. And then I will have I like this little hand ascender. So I will just put that little hand ascender there. This is a DMM thimble, the OD loop, but this actually has the retrieval side. So I can set up like a little friction saver with this, or use it on my lanyard as a choker, or use it to dead end my lanyard. Really handy, super lightweight. Bunch of uses. I like multi-use things. Obviously the hand ascender isn't multi-use, but it serves a purpose. And then I keep a hitch cord and another carabiner. And then it depends on if I'm going to climb SRT or MRS. If I'm climbing SRT, I'm going to take one revolver rig. And if I'm going to climb MRS, I will take another revolver rig. So that is all of the extra gear that I keep on my saddle. Again, maybe that's a lot for some people. Maybe that's not as much as others, but that's what works for me. You could do a lot with this. You could obviously set up second systems, false crotches, rescue yourself potentially, hard connects. Yeah, so that has been my review of the Courant Koala. I am a huge fan of it. I think if someone wanted to give it a try, that they absolutely should, and I don't think that they would be disappointed. I will probably get the suspenders at one point just to try. Maybe I'll keep them, maybe I won't. But, oh, last thing. These side Ds, I have seen other people comment online how small they are. What they don't talk about is how angled they are. They come out almost at like a 45-degree angle, so it is super easy to hook carabiners or hooks or anything in there. You know, and they're also not huge. I like how they're a little bit smaller, because typically I will run my lanyard on my lower rings. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all for joining me. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of this content. Yeah, that's my Courant Koala. Bye.